بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So what we're going to do is review the rules of Noon Sakin and Meem Sakin rules. Okay, so we covered, of course, the Noon Sakin and Meem Sakin rules last time, right? Very quickly, so we'll go through that again. So what we mentioned last time is that when we say Noon Sakin, all we mean is a Noon with a little sukoon on top, right? Okay, and it's Noon Sakin or Tanween because it's literally the same thing. For example, you can say ban like this, like ba with two fathas, meaning this is tanween. This equals a ba with a noon, right? So ba with a noon with a sukoon. So this is the same thing, right? So if it's ba with two fathas, this is tanween. This is equivalent to a noon with a sukoon, ban ban. That's why we say the noon, sakin and tanween rules. Okay, I hope that made sense, of course. Now, something to keep in mind here is, can someone quickly answer and tell me what is the makhraj of noon?
Tip of and side of tongue from K9 to, sorry, sides of tongue from K9 to K9.
Right, so it's the tip of the tongue, right? The tip of the tongue from K9 to K9. Okay, I'm gonna look at this drawing here now. So let's say the green line here is the roof of the mouth, okay? And the red here is the tongue, okay? And let's say the noon, let's say the noon is supposed to be here, right? It's the tip of the tongue, K9 to K9, okay? So once this, you see here, once this tongue here touches the roof of the mouth, okay? Then, I mean, once it hits the makhraj of noon, then you're going to get that noon sound, right? Everyone try it with me now. An, right? You actually using, yeah. So what you're doing here is basically you have a hamza with a fatha followed by noon with a sukoon, right? So what you're doing is you're touching the noon, an, right? You're touching the tongue here to the roof of the mouth. That's how you get the n sound, okay? Yeah, I need, please, I need everyone to either mute yourself or, just follow along quietly, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. So we can continue with this, okay? Because if I have everyone, trying to recite at the same time, then obviously, you won't be able to hear me, okay? So we have the hamza with the fatha followed by noon with sukoon, right? So we get an, we get that n sound, okay? Now this is very important because I'm going to explain in a bit here. We have 4 rules, okay? So let's do the noon sakin, meem sakin rules first. We have 4 rules here, and we learned them last time. We have number 1 is what?
Izhar.
Okay.
Izhar.
Yep.
Then idgham.
Good.
Then iqlab. Then ikhfa.
Okay, that's right. So look here. So we have the rules of noon sakina and tanween. Okay, so we have 4. Right, we have here, if you look here, idhar, idgham, iqlab, let me make that bigger, and ikhfa. Okay, these are the 4 rules that we covered. Okay, so we know that the letters of idhar are the throat letters, and of course we know this very well because the throat letters are, the bottom of the throat has hamza and ha, the middle of the throat has ayn and ha, and the top of the throat has ghayn and kha. Okay, so if after the noon sakina or tanween you get any of these letters, then we're going to do idhar. Idhar means to read clearly. So there's going to be no extra pull, no hiding of the noon, nothing, right? You just say an'amta, okay? So just like we did in the previous the previous slide there, right? Your tongue is going to hit the makhraj of noon, and you're not going to do any extra pull or anything like that, okay? So it's going to hit the makhraj, and that's it. An'amta, move forward, okay? Obviously, don't stop. I'm just doing that just to show it more clearly. You're going to continue, right? An'amta. But there's no extra pull or there's no ghunna. Remember, ghunna is, it's the makhraj number, what? 17, comes from the khayshum, right? So there's no extra pull on that. Okay. Then we have idgham. So idgham, if after the noon sakin or tanween, we have if there are any of these 6 letters which follow it, then we're going to do either with ghunna or without ghunna. What are the 6 letters? We remember them in the phrase, yarmalun, ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, noon, yarmalun. Now, yarmalun breaks down into yanmu and ra and lam. So if it's yanmu, meaning if it's the 4 letters of ya, noon, mim, or waw, then what's going to happen, of course, is you're going to read with gunna. Okay? So example is man ya'mal, right? Man ya'mal. So we have like a meme. And so apologies for the writing here. I'm using my phone here. So it's man with a sukoon and then followed by ya'mal, right? So ya'mal like that. Ya'mal. Okay? So there's a noon sakina followed by a ya here. So what's going to happen is idgham is going to take place, meaning the meem will join the ya, right? The meem will join the ya, okay? So yeah, basically you're not even reading the noon, right? However, since it's one of the four letters of yanmu, you're going to read with ghunna. You're going to hold the sound in the nasal cavity. Man ya'mal, and not man ya'mal, okay? Man ya'mal, okay? And we can do that for other examples, like with a wow, myun wal, right? Same thing, myun wal, okay? So if it's like a meme and noon, okay, let's draw here. If it's a meme, what's going on here? Okay, so we have a meme, right, followed by like that, myun wal, okay? So the meme will join the wow, and you don't pronounce, I mean, you're not going to read the noon, but you're going to read with gunna because it's one of the four letters of yanmu, myun wal, okay? And then we have the other two examples, the lam and ra, okay? So for example, we can do like al-law, right? So what happens here is the hamza will join the lam, okay, fine, but then we do not read the noon, right? So there's no extra pull, nothing. You just read the hamza to the lam directly, al-law, and there's no extra pull. You don't say al-law or hide the sound in your nose, okay? So that's what it means without gunna.
Al-law.
Al-law, right?
Is it like
or man-law, and so on. Okay, moving on, we have iqlab, just one letter. So if after the noon sakin or tanween there is a ba, all we have to do is just change, to read the first of all, you change the noon to a meme. That's why it's called iqlab, means to change. Okay, so example is what? Very common example, right? Min ba'di. Okay, so what happens here is, number one, I changed the noon into a meme. That's why in some mushafs you'll see a little meme at the top. Okay, so what that means is the noon is changed into meme. Okay, and then all I have to do is apply gunna, and I just hold the sound mim, and then after that there's a ba, so it's nice and easy. It's the same makhraj, the lips, mim ba'di. I hide the sound in my nose, the gunna mim ba'di, and that's it. Okay, a question may arise to some, if you've studied tajweed or heard it before, should I open my lips or not? And the answer to that is you don't need to, because you're already hiding the sound in your nose. And there's more detail to that, but at this point in time, we don't need to detail that out too much. For now, this is an introductory class. All you need to know is change the noon to meme and then hold it. Mim ba'di. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Can you guys still see the screen? You can still see a screen, right? Can you see the screen here?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Last one is ikhfa. Now, how do you remember the ikhfa letters? Well, you don't have to. If you remember the 6 letters of idhar, the throat letters, the 6 letters of idgham, and the 1 letter of iqlab, then all the remaining letters, which are 15, are the letters of ikhfa. I'll give you an example here. And there's so many examples. You guys can find them as well. This is you should try to do that as well for homework. You know, give me an example. Can someone tell me an example, actually?
Alphabet.
Kauman zalamu.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, what example?
Kauman zalamu.
Okay, that's one. That's right. But I'm going to write this one here for now. So man dha. Okay. So after the noon sakina, there is a dha. So it's not the letter of idhar. It's not idgham. It's not iqlab. So what do you do here? Remember that page that I do, or that little diagram I drew? I said this is the roof of the mouth. This is the roof, right? And then we have the tongue. So it's not touching the makhraj of noon. Okay. So this is what I meant in ikhfa. So if it touches the makhraj, then we're doing idhar. Okay. If the tongue goes directly to the next makhraj, then it's idgham, because you've joined it, you merged, you merged it with the next letter, right? Idgham means to merge, to join, to assimilate. Iqlab means you change the noon into meme and then you just hold the sound, which is easy. Ikhfa means to hide. So what are you hiding here? You're hiding the noon, right? So that means the tongue is not going to hit the makhraj of noon. The tongue is going to come very close to the makhraj of noon, and then you just hold the sound and you prepare your mouth for the you prepare your mouth for the next makhraj, which is the dal, and dal comes again from the tip of the tongue touching the upper central incisors, right? So you're not going to say, listen very carefully, you're not going to say man dhalladhi, rather your tongue will come close to the makhraj of noon but not hit it, and then hold the sound of gunna and then prepare your mouth for the dal. Sorry, can you guys hear me? I think
Yes.
I put myself on mute somehow.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know how far you heard. I'll just repeat that. So basically, your tongue will come close to the makhraj of noon, and then you hold that sound in the nose. You apply ghunna, and then you prepare your mouth for the next letter, the dal. So man dhalladhi, man da. Okay.
Man da.
So if you actually hit the makhraj of noon, that's wrong. If you say man that, that's wrong, right? It should be hidden. So it's man that. So the tongue is not actually hitting the makhraj of noon. Okay? So it's coming close to it, but it's not hitting it. Man that. Give me one moment here.
Man za.
Okay, so that's manda, right? I'll give you one more example. So, like I said, the tongue is going to come close to the makhraj of noon and not hit it, and then hold that sound gunna. Now, let's say there is a heavy letter. Remember the heavy letters, the isti'la letters? You remember them in the phrase, what? Qussa, ضغط, qidh, right? The 7 letters. Of course, not all 7 you're going to apply ikhfa because kha is the throat letter, so you're not going to apply ikhfa there. It's izhar, right? So, give me an example here of a heavy letter. Anyone?
Min.
Yeah. So we can use this example. So we have a noon sakina followed by qaf. Is
من
qaf the
يقول
letter? So is qaf the letter of idhar? No. Is qaf the letter of idgham? No. Is qaf ba? Of course not. So what do we do? Ikhfa. So
بلا.
we hide the sound again. The tongue is not going to hit the makhraj of noon. It's going to come close to it. Min, right? And then hold the sound in your nose. Min, and then go to the qaf. Now, where's the makhraj of qaf? It's very far from the noon, right? So it's the back of the tongue hitting the hard, the soft palate. So now the gunna sound should be heavier, right? So it should be min qabl. Min, see, it's very heavy. It's not, listen very carefully. Number one, it's not min qabl, right? Because the qaf, remember, you're moving slowly towards the makhraj of qaf, which is heavy. Therefore, the gunna is going to be heavy. Min qabl. Likewise, we have sad, right? Mansur. So you're not going to say mansur, rather mansur, because the sad is heavy. Likewise, the ta, man ta, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Any questions so far?
Sorry, Chef, can you just clarify? So if it's a heavy letter following the noon sakin or tanween, then it's going to be, did you say like a stronger gunna?
Yeah, because the gunna, right, the letter after it is heavy, therefore the gunna is going to also be heavier, right? Because you're slowly moving towards the makhraj, right? You're slowly moving towards the next makhraj. In this case, it's a heavy letter, right?
Okay.
If it was a ta, then it wouldn't be heavy, right? Man ta, for example. Antum, antum. You don't say antum, right? Because the ta is where? From the tip of the tongue. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's go on quickly to the Meem sakin rules then. They're very easy, of course. Let me just share that one. You guys can see that?
Yes.
Okay, so the Meem sakin rules are even easier. So if after the Meem sakina you have a ba, then you're going to do ikhfa. Example, tarmihim bi, right? Or let's even say like if I'd add a ha and a meem and then ba ha, right? So there's a ba here, and if you look here, there's the Meem with a sukoon. After that, there's a ba with a kasra. Therefore, all I have to do is I'm just going to hide the sound in my nose, right? Hum bihi. That's it. Just hold the sound and move on. Hum, and then close your mouth on the Meem and then open on the ba. Hum bihi. Okay, that's easy. Then we have the next one, which is if it's followed by Meem, even easier, right? So you have two Meems coming together. Can someone give me an example of that?
Come in, come in,
Come in. Very good. Or you can say man,
man,
right?
man.
Yeah. And here you'll see the little shadda there, of course, because two Meems coming together. So basically you have two Meems coming together. All you do is close your mouth on the makhraj of Meem and then hold it for a bit, open on the other Meem and go forward. Man, easy. Okay. And this is called what? This is called idgham, again, to merge, to join. So you're joining one Meem to another. Ikhfa means to hide. You're hiding that sound. Bihi, right? You're hiding the sound of the Meem while doing ghunna and then opening on the ba. So that's why it's called ikhfa, to hide. And then we have idhar, the remaining letters. So you just basically, you read it clearly, just like you read the noon clearly, like an'amta. Actually, that's a good example there. It has both together. So you have an, am, ta, right? Sukoon and then ta. So you have hamza followed by a noon with a sukoon, followed by ayn, the throat letter. Therefore, this is actually idhar of the noon sakina, right? So it's going to be clear. So you read the noon clear. An, am. And then there's a meme sakina followed by ta. It's not a ba, it's not a meme. Therefore, read the meme clearly. Am, ta, right? There's no need to hold the meme further or, say am, ta, or like try to do idgham and join the ayn to the ta and say atta, for example. No need to do any of that. Just read it clearly. Am, ta, an, am, ta. Okay.
So both izhar, so it means both izhar of noon and izhar of Meem are present in this example.
Exactly. There's both. You can see both, right? So you have the noon sakina followed by ayn, and then meme sakina followed by ta. So yeah, this is noon sakina, this is meme sakina. Good. So this is a good example. Yeah. Okay. I hope that made sense. I know it's not too difficult. When people think of tajweed, they're like, okay, let's look at the rules of ikhfa, idgham, etc. It's really not that complicated. Like I said, if you really learn the makharij and sifat, then the rest of it is quite easy, inshallah. Okay. So we've done the noon sakina, meme sakina rules. Now all we need to do is a lot of practice, of course, right? So the way we're going to do this, of course, is just like we were practicing makharij. Okay. So we're going to take each word, right? So for example, like alhamdu, okay? If I write that here, like alhamdu and so on, right? So I'll say, okay, where's the makhraj of hamza at the bottom of the throat? And then I'll say, okay, what's the sifa? Is it hams or jahar? It's jahar. Is it shidda ikhwa? Shidda. Is it isti'la or istifal? Istifal. Infitah itbaq, infitah. Okay? Does it have any other sifat? No. Then I move forward to the lam. Okay, lam comes from the side of the tongue, and then go to the ha from the middle of the throat, meme from the lips coming together, the dry part, that is from the tip of the tongue touching the upper gum line, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then obviously you go through the sifat as well, right? So you'll go the dal, is it hams or jahar? Can someone quickly tell me dal is hams or jahar?
It's jahar.
Because if you memorize fahattahu shakhsun sakat, you'll get it quickly. Is it shidda ikhwa or bayina or bayniya?
Shadda.
Shidda, right? Because ajidu qattin bakat. Is it isti'la, istifal?
Istifal.
I gave you a quick way of doing the last two sifat, right? If you say o, like ta, ba, sa, then right away it's going to be isti'la. But if you say a, ba, like da, is going to be da. You don't say da. So right away you can say it's istifal and also infitah, right? Because
Yes.
the tabaq are the four letters, okay? So just like that. And then dal, does it have any other qualities? Yes, it does. Qalqala, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do that for every single letter. We'll go through the makharij sifat, and then we're going to put two words together. So what do I mean by that? Example is like minkum, right? Minkum.
Yeah.
So minkum, so you have mim, sukoon, kaf, dhamma, Okay, so Meem with a kasra there, Noon sukoon. Apologies for the writing. Kaf with a dhamma, Meem with a sukoon. So same thing here. So Meem comes from where? Can someone tell me? Where's the makhraj of Meem? What's the-
Lips, dry part of lips.
Excellent. And then we'll go through the sifat. So we already did this. So is it hams or jahar?
It's jahar,
Is it shidda ikhwa? Bayniya?
bayniya,
Because
tawassut.
lin umar, right? Tawassut. Good. Is it? And then it's infitah, istifal, and infitah, right?
It's istifal and infita, yes.
Okay. And then there's no other sifat. Okay. Next one. Noon. Where's the
No.
makhraj in noon? Someone else, quickly. Someone else. Tip of the tongue from canine to canine. I need someone else to answer, please. What is the sifat of noon? Is it hams or jahar?
It's jahar.
Okay. Is it shidda ikhwa or bayniya?
It's bayniya.
Right? Bayniya or tawassut, because lin umar. And then again,
It's-
istifal, infitah. And then is there any other sifa of noon?
Istifal and infita only, bas.
Right. And then the kaf. Okay, someone else quickly. What's the makhraj of kaf? Someone tell me. What is the makhraj of kaf?
Back of the tongue touching the
Hard palate.
hard palate.
Okay, is it hams or jahar?
Yeah.
فحتى شخص سكت. So it's hams. Is it shidda rikhwa? أجد قط بكت. Remember, you got to memorize those mnemonics. So it's shidda. Is it استعلاء istifal? You don't say ka, so right away you say ka. So it's istifal and then infitah. Okay, and then the meme we already did. Now, once you're done this, now you're going to remember we did sifat, right? So there are two types of sifat. We have lazima, right, which is permanent sifat, which is with the letter. So if you take it out of the letter, like if you take out the jahar of the meme, is not going to exist, right? Or the tawassut or the bayniya. Okay, so that is the intrinsic or the permanent part of that sifat. Okay, and then we have the arida, which is circumstantial. So this is the 11 that we learned, right? If you remember in the little poem couplet, right? إظهار نضغام وقلب وكذا إخفاء وتفخيم ورق أخذ. We did this, right? If you memorized it, good for you. If not, please do it. والمد والقصر مع التحرك وأيضا السكون والسكت حكي. So the 11 sifat, which are circumstantial, are these ones right here, right? So we did this. So what is this here? Minkum. What is this? What is this rule here?
Minkum.
Yeah, what rule is this?
Wow.
What rule is this? What is this rule here? Is there any rule here? We did the makharij of the 4 letters. We did the sifat. Is there any
What?
rule here?
Fatha.
Idhar of noon and meme both are here.
Are you sure it's al-har?
إخفاء.
Ikhfa, thank you. Jazakumullah khair. Why? Because after the noon sakina, there is a kaf, right? So what do you do here then? You hide the noon. So your tongue does not touch the makhraj of noon. It comes close to it. And then you hide the sound in your nose. And you move towards the makhraj of kaf, which is the back of the tongue. So it will sound like this. Minkum. One more time. Minkum. It is not minkum, where I'm actually hitting the makhraj of noon. And it is not, also it's not minkum. Minkum. That is also wrong. Because the makhraj, my mouth should be getting ready, right, for the next letter here. So it would be minkum. All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That is
Minkum.
exactly
Yes.
that is exactly how we're going to do our practice from now on. Now we can put everything together, right? And then once we add, once we learn the med, we're going to add that as well, and then the waqf, and that's it. That's the end of the book, right? So then all we have to do is a lot of practice, and then inshallah everything should be with you, right? Because if you do so, like just like with makharij, it became easier now because of the practice that we did, right? So likewise, this will be the same, inshallah. So this is how we're going to practice. And actually, we're going to stop here today, inshallah. Just because, you know, I'm outside and I know it's noisy. I don't know if you can hear me properly or
Okay.
not. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me
Teacher,
fine?
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so inshallah, we'll stop there. Alhamdulillah, we did cover the noon sakin and meme sakin rules. Next class, we'll move on to med. and then waqf, and then inshallah, it's going to be just a lot of practice. So it's going to be a lot of review for you guys, and we're going to put everything into practice that we learned in this book, inshallah. All right.
Okay, teacher.
And then, of course, the plan was that once we complete this book, we will move on to actual recitation. And then, obviously, then you'll enjoy the fruits of this book, right? If you've learned it properly, then when you're actually reciting to the teacher, then they'll tell you, hey, you forgot to do ikhfa here. Or, you know what? You actually did not read the hams properly on the kaf, for example, right? And then you'll be able to understand and appreciate this book, inshallah. We ask Allah
Yeah.
subhanahu wa ta'ala to
Teacher,
allow us to
excuse me,
benefit from this book,
teacher,
inshallah,
excuse me,
and allow us
teacher.
to apply whatever we learn in our recitation. Yes, go ahead if there's any questions. You can
Yeah,
ask,
no,
inshallah.
I want to share one thing. When we do practice by